name, ma'am?
My name is Peggy Sue Rose,
And your
and this is Clarence Aaron Rose. His name is Clarence after my daddy, and Aaron after Elvis Aaron Presley.
okay.
Oh my God, I love Elvis!
So can you tell me a little bit about yourself, please?
Well, unfortunately, I'm pregnant because I went to the Beatles concert, and I don't know, 8 months later, I was like this. But I'm a really hardworking person. I'm only 14. But don't let that stop you from hiring me, because I have helped raise my little brothers and sisters, and I'm a really good worker.
Okay, so what do you feel like your strengths are?
My strengths are that I'm very independent because, well, I'm not married, but again, don't let that phase you hiring me. I'm very responsible, but you know, this just happened. I'm a really good worker.
So what are your weaknesses?
I'm pregnant, and I'm not married, and I'm 14. What do you? Next question.
So why do you want this job?
Well, even though President Johnson has really helped people like me out, I don't want to live off the system. I will appreciate his WIC and food stamps because that will help us in the long run, me and baby Clarence, but I really just want to work myself and not live off the system for the rest of our lives.
Okay. So what is your greatest failure and what did you learn from it?
I'm pregnant, and I'm 14, so I should never go to a Beatles concert again, and I should get this job to really take care of me and my son.
Okay. How do you plan to work and have a child to raise by yourself?
Well, President Johnson also enacted a program called the Fostering Grandparents, and it really helps senior citizens, and it will help me too. Basically, I just have 2 sets of elderly people that will help take care of me and take care of my child while I'm at work.
How can you still fulfill your domestic roles while working?
Well, that will be a struggle at some points, but overall I think that from raising my brothers and sisters, I really do know how to clean and cook, and I'll only be at work for 6 or 7 hours a day, so I'll spend the rest of the time taking care of my child.
What will you do with your child while you're working since you aren't married?
They will be staying with the fostering grandparents.
So you're only 14. How do you plan to teach a class of children when you're a child yourself?
I think that I can really provide a view of responsibility besides the whole pregnant thing. I think I can be on their level and I can kind of relate to them more than an older person would.
Okay. How would you describe your work style?
Well, I'm very active when I'm not pregnant. And when I'm not pregnant, I can also really work hard. You know, I mean, it's really a setback right now, but in a couple hours, this thing will be out and I'll be ready to work for you.
What would be your ideal work environment?
I love kids. Like I said, I have 6 little brothers and sisters. I have 3 brothers and 3 sisters, and they're all at least 4 years younger than me. So I'm very used to being around younger children, and I grew up a little bit faster because I did help take care of them. So working with kids would really be a good place for me.
And what attracted you to this company?
I really like this company because I don't have to drive. I don't have a license because I'm only 14 and I'm pregnant and I'm unmarried. So I would think that I could just walk to work. It would be about 3 miles for me to walk, and that's not a problem at all. I'd be here on time every day.
So you feel like you're fit for this job?
I am very fit mentally for this job, and in a couple hours I'll be physically fit for this job as well.
Okay, well, I'll take that into consideration. Thank you.
Thank you.
Have a good evening. Ma'am,
Yes.
May I ask? What is that?
Oh, it's my husband.
Your husband
Yeah, he follows me everywhere.
in the jar?
Well,
The pumpkin.
he passed several years ago, and I can't do much without him, so I need him with me, so.
Okay.
All right, he's here
Well,
with us.
can you tell me a little bit about yourself, please?
Well, I'm 45 years old. I'm a house mother. I have 2 children by my husband. And I raised them by myself. It's been really difficult, but my husband actually was murdered by the homosexuals in the Stonewall riots. He was a policeman. They beat him to death. So
I'm
it's,
sorry.
I've been struggling to pay for my children. They're not happy that I'm applying for this job. They expect me to be at home and working, but I really need a job, so I'm here.
Okay, so what are your strengths?
Cleaning, cooking, taking care of children. I really like to vacuum, and I can walk really well in the house. Yeah, that's
Okay, so what do you feel your weaknesses are?
weaknesses. Well, I'm a woman. That's a weakness. I'm not very well outspoken. I have problems voicing my opinion. I think it was because of Dwayne. He was very possessive, and he was very abusive. But we still love him.
Oh. So his name is Dwayne. What was your name?
Dot.
Dot. Okay.
I'm Dwayne.
So why do you want this job, Dot?
Oh well, I'm actually. I'm very poor. I need help supplying for my children. They're about to enter into secondary school and high school, so it's hard for me. My youngest boy, he's a teacher.
Oh.
You know, food stamps don't really supply that much, so.
Okay.
Yeah.
So how will you maintain a job and take care of your children?
Oh, wow. Well, the work incentive program through the Great Society, it actually provides daycare, so I don't have to pay for that out of pocket anymore. They provide daycare, and they're providing me with job training. And so I'm learning, and I'm building myself up, trying to prepare myself for this job, but I think I could do really well, better than
Do you receive any form of federal aid?
I do. Actually, I'm on welfare currently, and I receive food stamps. And actually, after Dwayne died, I applied for Social Security, but you can't apply for Social Security as a widow until you're 60, and I'm not 60. So yeah, I'm just struggling. I'm trying to pay the bills, and the welfare really helps, the checks and stuff, but it's still a struggle. It's not enough money for the 2 children and myself, and working at home obviously gets you no money, so I do receive federal aid.
Have you received the education necessary to obtain this job?
Actually not. It's really looked down upon not to go to college or to school or to even get a job until your kids graduate high school, and even then it's a little bit looked down upon because you're not taking care of them. So I haven't been able to get any education, but the Work Incentive program is providing me with the training and some education, and I read a lot of books, so I think I'm pretty smart.
You read books?
I do read books.
What books do you read?
Oh. Right now I'm actually reading this book by Betty Friedan. It's called The Feminine Mystique. It's a really taboo book. It talks about how women are so oppressed, how they're just restrained to this household role, how we should be able to break free from that and get the jobs that we want and to do what we want. And I really am feeling that, like,
Yeah.
some of the women in the book club actually have to hide it from their husbands because it's so controversial right
You don't
now.
have to worry about that.
No, Dwayne, he doesn't see me like he used to.
So how active are you in the community?
I'd like to think I'm really active. I'm actually in the National Women's Organization, and we do a lot of lobbying for women's rights, and we actually lobbied for the Equal Rights Amendment, or Equal Pay Act, or whatever. I got a terrible memory. But we actually lobbied for that, and it was supposed to get us equal pay, but it really overlooked housewives and farm workers, so we didn't get the equal pay that we needed. But, I've actually marched with Pearl S. Buck and Margaret Sanger, even Katharine Hepburn.
That's impressive.
They're all like a part of this women's movement, and I think we're really progressing.
That's good to hear. So how do you pay for your kids and living expenses?
Well, welfare does a good bit of good for me. Just trying to pay for my kids, trying to buy the groceries with food stamps. I don't really have any other form of income. I just struggle with that, and my son actually has a job, but he earns about, well, not enough, and he's really selfish with his money. So, I live off that. I provide for my kids. I clean the house. So
So do you want to talk about how your husband passed a little bit more, or is that a touchy subject?
it's cute. In the riots at Stonewall, actually, that's where the homosexuals gathered for a while, and when the police found about it, they actually stormed, and my husband was one of the leaders, and they crowded him, and there was just so many fights, and they kept calling for backup, and they kept calling for backup, but no one came. And the next day, it was still going, and I hadn't heard from Dwayne, and
He was a pretty active. Okay.
pretty active. It's a great man.
I'm sorry to hear that.
Sometimes.
So why should we hire you?
Why should you hire me? Well, I'm very experienced. Actually, when I was about 20 years old, right when I met Dwayne, I received employment as a school teacher for second grade children, and I gained a lot of experience. But when I fell pregnant, after Dwayne and I got married, they fired me because I fell pregnant, and there are no women's rights against that type of discrimination in the workplace. And so I got fired from my job, and for about the past 12 years, I've just been raising my kids and staying at home and cleaning and cooking. So I have some experience, and I think it would help me tremendously in getting this job. And I actually, honestly, I have 2 kids of my own, so I'm good with kids. And yeah,
So you were previously employed?
I was for a short time, about a year, and then obviously I fell pregnant, and so. And my boss was very, he was very stereotypical towards women. He thinks the women should stay home. He didn't like me anyway, but I got the job, and he took the first opportunity to fire me. So,
What is your greatest failure, and what did you learn from it?
probably my greatest failure, other than being a woman, my greatest failure, just having to apply for this job, not being able to apply for my kids. My kids basically hate me because I'm trying to get employment, but Johnson's really been lobbying for women, and he's been trying to put stuff into place so that we can have more equality. But that's probably my greatest failure, not to be able to supply for my children.
So how would you describe your work style?
My work style. I am very efficient. Obviously housework, it's an everyday thing, especially with kids, and Dwayne was a really messy guy, so I don't always have to do dishes. So I'm really efficient. I get a lot of stuff done in a little amount of time. I feel like I'm very responsible. Efficient and responsible.
What would your ideal work environment be?
My ideal work environment. I really love children, so I would love to be surrounded by children. I would love to not have to clean because I have to obtain those responsibilities at home, but just to be around children, to be paid. We as women only receive 59 cents for every man's dollar, and even though we had the Equal Pay Act in 1963, it didn't lobby for us house mothers, and probably didn't help you out any either. So, just to get money in my pocket and provide for my kids.
So what attracted you to this company?
What attracted me? Just that it is open to employing women. I had dreams of doing something greater with my life. I would love to be a doctor, but that's only for men. Lawyers are only for men. So it's just a job that is open to women being employed. So that's why I'm here.
Great. Well, thank you, Doc. It was nice
Nice
talking
to
to you.
meet you.
And Dwayne,
He says goodbye.
you guys be careful.
Oh, I'm gonna trip.
Don't drop him.
Have a nice day.
You too. Thank you. What's your name?
Paul.
Paul? Okay. So you want,
Wizards.
Amanda? Thank you. So do you want to tell me a little bit about yourself?
Yeah. So I'm Paul. I'm from this local area, Middleton, West Virginia. 35-year-old male. Served in Korean War for a little bit. Just my experience over there.
Okay. So what do you feel your strengths are?
So probably my biggest strength is I feel like I'm a very critical thinker. Having to serve in wartime, I had to think on my mind a lot, so I think that will help me out with this job.
And what do you feel your weaknesses are?
Probably my weaknesses are that's a good question. Probably one of my weaknesses is that in this world I feel kind of alone. You know, like I served in the war. When I got back, everybody was gone. My family, surrounding family. So right now I'm kind of looking for a new family, and that's what attracted me to this job. And I think that's the biggest thing.
Okay. So why should we hire you?
Just hire me. Best candidate. So I have some experience teaching. Back when I was in the war, part of what I did was I helped teach English to Korean students. Yeah.
So how old were the students?
The students were aged from about 4 to about 10.
Okay, so pretty young.
Yeah.
So what is your greatest failure and what did you learn from it?
My greatest failure, probably my greatest failure would be allowing circumstances to hit me in the face. Like I said, I came back after the war and things were not that great, and I kind of let myself go a little bit. So part of what I'm trying to do right now is trying to just pick myself back up.
Okay. What could you bring to the table as a teacher at our school?
Well, I could bring a different energy to the place. I feel that when I was a teacher over there in Korea, I felt like the students really learned and really thrived in my learning environment. And I feel that the kids are most important. That's what I want to give back. I mean, we're in a great time in our society where the president, Lyndon B. Johnson, has done a lot for education. And like the education, one of the education acts gave over $1 billion to the education world. So I feel like giving back to this to education and the youth would help such a big deal, or help and go such a long way.
Okay. What subjects or areas are you certified in?
I was Army certified in English. That's about it, teaching English.
So do you have any education-based anything?
No, I just straight from after the war. Before the war, I graduated from one of the high schools, and then I enlisted. Came straight here.
Okay. So what are some of your previous work experiences?
Previous work experiences.
Yep.
Let's see. When I was young, during World War II, I worked in a paper mill or something. And then after that, I worked just in the Army. I worked in the Army for a little while, while I was in the Army. When I enlisted, I went through the basic training part. And then when I got to Korea, they just found that me being a teacher would be better. I wasn't the best shooter. But yeah.
So how long were you a teacher for that?
I was a teacher for about a year and a half.
And how long were you in the Army?
I was in the Army about 2.5 years.
Okay. Are you supportive of the Vietnam War?
I am.
Why?
I think that what's going on over there is really bad, and I feel like communist service. One of the things that we wanted to fight was communism. I feel like over there, that's one of the things that's running rapid. So in order to stop this spread of communism, we need to help out. Democracy is what our country was founded on and what the world should have. So I feel like that we, as a country, need to intervene.
Okay. So how would you describe your work style?
My work style. My work style is a little different than most. I like to have a little bit more of the kids getting involved rather than me just talking all the time. So I like doing exercises where they give input on what I talk about.
Okay. So what would be your ideal work environment?
Ideal work environment. Well, any work environment would be ideal for me right now, but I think the best work environment would be a work environment where everybody's positive, everybody's ready to go, my coworkers are ready to teach, and everybody's ready to learn.
Okay. So you say any work environment. So can you tell me a little bit about your past?
About my past, like what, any specifics or?
Just anything you feel like I should know.
Yeah, that you should know. Right now, I am fortunately homeless. I'm living in Athens, so kind of out of school. And I came to this job interview looking for a job because I feel like I can really help out and really to get myself back on my feet. Like I said earlier, after the war, I kind of was in a really bad spot, and I kind of got into just a little hole, a mini hole, where I started drinking, stuff like that. So I'm trying to pick myself back up.
To get yourself back to
Yeah.
So what attracted you to this company?
Well, I was attracted by the message and the opportunity to educate again. And when I was over there in Korea, I really found a passion in teaching people new things.
Okay, so why do you feel like you're the best option for this job?
Well, I feel like I offer a different point of view, a different personality, being my past and my background, and all the things that I've been through. I feel like it'll give me an extra emphasis on what I want to do.
Okay, all right, that's it.
All right, well,
Thank you, Paul.
Excuse me, but I think someone is disabled in the hallway and needs your help to come in here. Could you help them?
Yeah.
Not in that chair.
Hello. What's your name?
Eugene,
Eugene? You want to tell me what happened, Eugene?
I lost both my legs in World War II.
You did? Oh, so you want to tell me a little bit about yourself?
Well, there ain't much to tell. Let's see, I lost my legs. I lost my wife. Break depression.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah, she was a good woman. Took care of me. But lost her because some hoodlum wanted to steal her money. So,
Really?
yeah, lost her and my child.
I'm so sorry.
Yeah, it was a hard time for me.
So what are your strengths, Eugene?
Well, I don't have any. Lost both my legs, as you can see. I'm a
weaknesses?
My legs, obviously. What can I say?
So why do you want this job?
Well, I'm getting hitched again,
Okay.
and my wife, she's about 24, so she really likes stuff. She told me that I need to get a job, need to support her, and yeah, she likes her jewelry, she likes her clothes. She's running me dry, so I need a job.
Okay. So you feel like this is a good job for you?
Yeah.
Why do you feel like that?
Well, kids, my passion, that's what this is, right?
Yeah.
Teaching?
Teaching.
Well, love kids. I got experience with them.
You have experience?
I do.
What are
I
your
had
experiences?
In the war, I had to teach them how to use their rifles and, use their guns. I had to teach them how to kill.
This is a job to learn, not guns.
Right. Well, I can also teach them, history, war, depression. I can teach them that.
Okay. So why should we hire you?
Well, experience. Need a job. I can teach them.
So how quickly and positively will you adapt to changes in work practices?
Well, since I'm in the war, I was in the war, I learned a lot about adapting to my surroundings, gunfire. I think I can adapt to some kids.
Okay. So do you think you could handle this job with you being incapacitated?
Well, we can try. My legs, I can't get around very well, but kids, I just have to roll in there, right? Just roll in and teach them.
Do you have Social Security?
I do. A couple years ago in '65, Johnson signed that bill for Medicare. And since I'm 68 now, I guess I can get my Social Security, get my money, hospitalization for my legs.
Okay. So do you feel like you're a hard worker?
Yep, I would say I am. It's pretty hard to wheel myself around in here, and I've been working at jobs here and there, been welder, and trying to just get by. Working at every job I can.
So how would you describe your work style?
I'm pretty hard on myself, trying to get everything situated. Every job that I take, I work hard at it. You can only work so hard with two bum legs. So, but I try real hard.
So what would be your ideal work environment?
Well, I think this one, kids, this would be my ideal environment here. Just teaching kids as much as I can about history and possibly math.
Possibly not.
Possibly math.
Okay.
And teach them about real life, how hard it is to work in this life, and how you gotta push yourself. And teach them that.
So what attracted you to this company?
Well, I need money, so that's what mainly attracted me. But I think I could like it here. I could like this job. I like kids.
Okay. Well, I'm gonna go ahead and leave you back out, and then we're gonna talk to you first.
Yeah. All right. Here we go.
So I'm gonna bring back each one of them in. I'm gonna ask them a question, and then afterwards, you guys are gonna help me pick who I should hire. Who wants to go first? hire you?
Well, I think I've been through a lot in my life, and I think that being able to be around young children and, really teach them that no matter what happens, whether you're a woman or pregnant or unmarried or 14, you can do anything. I think I could really show them that nothing is impossible, even if you're pregnant. Oh! Oh! Go ahead.
Okay.
Are you okay? Contraction. You guys go ahead. I have like 30 more minutes.
Are you sure you don't need to step down?
No, I'm good.
Are you sure?
Yeah.
She might need a wheelchair though.
Should we get you a wheelchair? Should you sit down?
No, I am fully capable of this job.
Okay, so you don't feel like being, being 14, you don't feel like that's a disadvantage or anything?
I don't think I have any disadvantages at this in about 30 minutes. Because right now, I think that I can just really be a role model for young men and women that are trying to get their education, and anything they put their mind to, they can do, no matter what.
Is that it?
That's
Any
it.
last words?
That's
Anything?
all. And baby Aaron could come to class too, just sometimes we get you. Okay.
Okay, Dot. Why do you feel like we should hire you?
Obviously, like some, I'm very good for this job. Dwayne, what were you gonna say?
If you get this job, are you gonna bring Dwayne every day to class with you?
Is that a problem?
I mean, I'm just asking. It could be.
Everywhere. I mean, we were joined until death do us part. I ain't dead yet.
Okay, so why do you feel like we should hire you, Dot?
Well, I think I'm ready to accept the job than some of the other counterparts do today. And I just think that I'm very efficient, very responsible. I think that because of the oppression that I have endured, I think that I could really pull a lot of things into this job, really good education for the children, and I have some other stuff that I could do. I'm good with first aid too, and I could do a lot for this company, and I could really help these children. There's just so much I could do, and Dwayne will be right with me the whole time.
You really love Dwayne, huh?
Yes, he loved me too. I had a big heart. It's not that big anymore, but that's okay.
Is that all? Anything else you'd like to add?
I believe that I'm more, whatever, than some of the other applicants today. I mean, I have more experience, I have legs, and all my children are grown.
Not just.
Sorry, sir, I really need this job. You'll never see me again, so it's okay.
Just mine.
Guys, who are going to retain Aaron?
Okay.
Paul, why do you feel like we should hire you?
Well, like I already made my statement clear, I fall in the ward and I feel like I'd be a good role model for these kids here. We'll do better than these guys. I don't know why a 14-year-old girl is applying for a job like this. I don't know what that is.
It's her dead husband.
I got it. I got that from the outside, but
Don't criticize Dwayne.
never mind. But yeah, I feel like I would just make a better role model for these guys. I'm ready to get started, so we'll get started.
You already accepted the job.
We haven't
All right.
decided
Rushing
yet.
things.
Oh,
I
I'm
have
sorry.
another 25 minutes. Vote for me.
Eugene, why do you feel like we should hire you?
Well, unlike some, I'm not crazy in the head. I'm not carrying around my dead wife and my dead husband in a jar. and I got a house.
She's made a car.
I got a house that is not made out of cardboard. May not have my legs.
Oh!
Oh! Excuse me.
Do you just step out?
I'm okay. Are you sure?
It's just every now and then, you know.
The pressure, yeah. Okay, everything's okay.
Out of all of
Inhale,
them,
exhale.
out of all these applicants, I think that I'm the best one.
You feel like you're the best one.
I may not have my legs, but
You can teach them how to shoot, huh?
I can teach them. I can teach them how to live in this world and how to
Not walk.
I would run over those people. Anyway, I'm the best.
There you go. Okay, so if you guys want to this, what is it? Any last words?
He's the half best.
The half best.
We can go outside.
I'm more capable to fight than you are.
Let's go. Come on now. Get out of here.
Okay,
Let's go.
I'll call you guys back in one by one, and I'll let you know if you guys got the job or not. Vote for me!
No, get outside.
Vote for me! Now you're,
Mine loves everybody. Vote for us.
So what we're gonna do now is, you guys, I'm gonna say their name, and you tell me if you feel like they should get the job or not. Are you guys ready?
Yeah, let's do it.
Okay,
We have to
how do
vote
you-
for just one? We can only vote for just one?
Just one. There's only one job open. Okay, what about Dot with her dead husband, Dwayne? Anybody vote for her?
I
Hand
was gonna say,
raises?
for your safety, you better vote for her, because she killed that man.
I did not. It was the Stonewall riots. It was.
Creepiest person I ever seen.
I can still teach the children. I love children.
So anybody vote for her, raise your hand.
I see you at the Stonewall Inn.
Okay, Peggy? Peggy, Sue, and Aaron here. Peggy, Sue.
Vote for my child's future, please.
Anybody vote for Peggy? Peggy, Sue. All right, I'm sorry to regret, I'm sorry to inform you you didn't get the job. Hope everything goes well.
Are they gonna vote for anybody?
What about Paul? Anybody vote for Paul? Paul is pretty popular in here. What do you guys think?
It's a job.
Paul?
Oh, no.
I want to know why he's wearing one shoe and one sandal.
That's why I need a job. I need,
You want to explain to my coworkers?
yeah, I can try to. You know, I was bustling around, and these are the closest things that I could find to matching shoes. So this is the most professional look I got.
Can't wear open-toed shoes here, can you?
I didn't think so. That's why this
I
was.
think you need to wear a shirt too, Paul.
Yeah, I know.
I'm sorry, Paul. I don't think you fit for this job.
Alright. Sorry for that.
Sorry, anybody.
I swear if you roll over my toe one more time, old man.
Okay. Can we hear, what about Eugene? Anybody vote for Eugene?
Raise Jim up. Come on now. I need a job.
I'm so sorry,
They're all
Eugene.
enough.
Oh, come on. That's discrimination.
I'm really sorry.
They're all enough.
Well, I'm not hiring anybody. What do you guys think? You guys think that's a good idea?
That's the best.
Good job, guys. Good job.